Hi, how are you?
Hi, teacher. I'm great. Thank you for asking. How about you?
Yeah, I'm really good. Thank you for asking. What's your name?
I am Luan.
It's nice to meet you, Luan. My name is Leon.
Nice to meet you, teacher Leon.
Can you tell me a little bit about yourself, Luan?
Well, I'm from Brazil. I'm 32 years old. I work as a psychologist, and in the last 2 years, I've been teaching English in a public school. That's why I'm here in Cambly to improve my communication, my confidence, to gain more experience with native speaker, and that's
Okay,
it.
excellent. And what about your hobbies or interests, Luan?
Well, I have a lot of hobbies. I'm the kind of guy who likes to do a lot of things, but
Okay,
I would like to this to put on highlight reading, listening to music, and doing exercise. I love jogging, going to the gym, and that's it.
great. Thank you very much. And can you tell me a little bit about your hometown, Luan?
Well, I live in a small hometown. That's the
Yeah,
name. I live in a
hometown. Yeah.
small hometown. We have like 20,000 of inhabitants. So I
Wow.
think
Okay.
it's a few inhabitants, it's a small city. But I had the experience to live abroad for 7 years during
Wow.
my graduation course because I'm a psychologist. So I
Mhm.
have lived in a big city like Rio de Janeiro, São Paulo, in this big city. And I
Mhm.
had the opportunity, to gain experience and to be the people I am now.
Perfect. So, where in the world have you visited?
Well, I have only visited places here in Brazil.
Okay.
I still haven't got the opportunity to travel abroad, but
Okay.
I intend to spend some time in countries like USA, England, Canada, Australia, because I really want to improve my English, and I think this is the best way on face to face in the real world. So
Yeah.
it's a thing that I really wish to do as soon as possible.
Excellent. That'll be a great experience for you. And you're right, meeting people face to face and putting yourself in situations where you need to use your English language skills. It's a great way to learn.
Teacher, you are from England.
I am, yeah. Yeah,
Which city of England?
I'm from a small northern town in England, and it's called Middlesbrough, like this. Middlesbrough.
Middlesbrough.
It's close to a town that you may know called Newcastle.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Newcastle. And my hometown is more of an industrial town. There's lots of industry there, the chemical works there. So my hometown is very much built on its industrial history.
Mm-hmm. What
But
about cultural curiosities of your hometown? Do you have
oh,
one to share?
yeah, so my hometown has a few little history bits. So in my hometown, it's called Middlesbrough, but where I live is called Norton Village. So it's a very small town inside of Middlesbrough. Okay.
Okay.
So Middlesbrough's the district, and Norton Village is a very small town there. So have you heard of the Parliament building in London?
No, I have never heard.
Okay, so the Parliament building in London is where our government sits.
Okay,
Uh,
okay.
okay, and in the government building, there is a part of it called Big Ben, like this, Big Ben.
Oh.
And it's a big symbol in London. It's a very large clock.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, the bell in Big London, in Big Ben, was produced and made in my small hometown called Norton Village.
Oh, so the clock on the Big Bang was produced in your city.
Absolutely, yeah.
That's
Something
great.
something my city is very proud of. Also, the guy who invented the matchstick, you know, the matchstick.
The matchstick
Yeah, stick.
to catch some birds and
So
animals.
you know when you light your cigarette, but not with a lighter, it's a little little
Okay,
stick, and it's got some phosphorus on the top, and you
okay.
strike it. So the guy who invented the matchstick is from my hometown,
Hmm.
and also from Middlesbrough is a guy called Captain Cook, who is famous for
From the
finding the
history
Americas. Yeah.
of Peter Pan.
No, 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 no. That's Captain Hook.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so very similar, but Cook, Hook.
Hmm.
But Captain Cook is famous for finding America.
Okay.
He was one of the first explorers from the UK to sail his boat and find America.
Here in America, we heard that the first people on to visit America was Columbus, but I think Cook was
I think
in the
he
same
found
boat.
similar periods. So I think they
Hmm.
both. So I think Columbus found the southern parts of South America, like Brazil or Port and places. But I think Captain Cook he found more of Canada and Alaska and them types of places.
Right.
But it was
Right.
I think there was a very much a race going on between the two at the time. They were the
I
two
see.
biggest explorers at the time. I think Cook also found Australia, maybe. But he's
Hmm.
very famous captain and explorer, and he's from my hometown.
That's interesting. So I see that you are a guy who know a lot about the history of the place you live.
A little bit, not too much, but yeah, a little bit. And I'm a big fan of my football team, who is famous because in 1996 we signed a famous. Well, he's famous in my hometown, but he might not be in Brazil.
Juninho.
But it's Juninho. I believe it's Paulista because he was from Sao Paulo.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Uh, so and yeah, he kind of he put my football team on the map a little bit. He made them famous in my
What do
country.
you think about the Brazilian soccer?
Oh, I love Brazilian soccer. I've watched Brazilian soccer for many years, going back to watching Santos when they had Robinho and Diego and these types of players. So I've always had a big interest in the Brazilian league because a lot of obviously the players come to Europe. Uh, yeah, I love the Brazilian football.
It's really
Ronaldinho's
interesting.
probably my favorite.
It's really interesting how the most famous football players of Brazil they don't play here. They
No,
go from Europe, England,
hmm yeah,
because of the
yeah.
salary.
It's mainly it's probably to do with the salary and for the opportunity to play in the European Cup. You know, it's a prestigious thing to play in the European Cup for any footballer. Uh, but I agree with you. It's interesting that people move from countries to go to another country. Recently in England, young players have started going to more and more to European sides, which is not very common. This has only been common in the last, say, 10 years or so. For young English players to start going into European leagues. Normally, English players would stay within the English leagues, but
Mhm.
over the last 10 years, that's definitely changed. And one big success story to that would be Jadon Sancho, if you've heard the name. Yeah.
Okay.
So he moved from Man City with all of the money and fame that Man City have got. When he was 18-year old, he wanted to play first team football and decided to move to Germany, to Dortmund,
Mhm.
and got his opportunity that way. But lots of young English players have started to do the same thing. Do
Right.
you follow football yourself?
Well, teacher, I'm the kind of guy who follows football only in the World Cup.
Okay, okay.
But I really appreciate and I like the environment.
Hmm.
And I really think that is one thing that makes the Brazilian to feel connected because football is a great symbol of my country.
Of
And
course.
it's really interesting to see that things are becoming onto a regular situation, a normal situation, and the
Hmm.
football is happening again with the crowd,
Yeah.
and I'm so proud of it.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Absolutely. It wasn't nice watching football without crowds there. I think football is for the crowds. You know, it's a
Hmm.
very public sport. We've always went to the game, and it's always been like that. So this last year has been very difficult for that, I think. But how has COVID affected your hometown, and in particular, how has COVID affected you and your job?
Well, because I work in a public school, it
Hmm.
has affected a lot
Yeah.
because I am working on the remote system. So I
Hmm.
really had to adapt to this new reality.
Hmm.
Uh, First, a funny curiosity. When I started to give online classes for my students, I was very shy and I kind didn't like to show my face. So I put on in all black the image and I didn't, turn on the webcam. I was just, speaking on the microphone. But as
Okay.
time goes by, I started to feel, more comfortable. And then I opened the camera. And some days after, I have bought some tools, and then I decided finally and try to become in the future an online teacher. I think that
Okay.
is something who may work
Hmm.
because I think this is the future of the education.
Yeah.
And so it has affected me in a good way
Yeah.
because first I started to do online classes on EF, who is a famous school of English. And then
Okay.
I did EF for 1 year. And after stopped EF, I started in Cambly. And regarding to education, it's been an awesome experience for me
Hmm.
because I see that it's possible to learn in your house, speaking with teachers from all around the world.
Yeah.
So it's been a real revelation for me,
Hmm.
professionally speaking, because I have never thought, to teach in online mode. And now
Hmm.
I see myself in the future teaching only online.
Yeah.
So that's it.
Great. I mean, I feel exactly the same as well, Luan. So before the COVID pandemic and before all of the lockdowns and things like this, I'd done a lot of customer service training, but never really been in a teaching environment. So I have taught people, but in different ways. So for customer service purposes or for sales purposes, negotiation purposes, that type of thing. Not education teaching, but training for business. Uh, so I moved from England to Spain around 5 years ago. Uh, and to be more specific, I moved to a place called the Canary Islands.
Mhm.
And the island I live on is called Lanzarote. Uh, and it's a small island here, a very small island. The overall population here is about 150,000 for the entire island. So it's quite a small place to live. Not as small as 20,000, but definitely a small place to live compared to where I'm from. Now, when we moved here, I decided to work within the tourist industry uh, because these islands are very much set up for that industry. I wanted to make a change in my life. I'd worked for the UK government for around 15 years, maybe a little bit more than 15 years. and wanted to change my working environment. So I decided to go into the tourism industry. It was very close to what I was doing in within the government. So I decided to make that move. But obviously, 2 years ago, COVID hit, or just over a year and a half ago now, and the islands have suffered greatly because of COVID. You know, there's been no tourists here. These islands are set up, their entire industry is basically for tourism. Maybe 10 to 20% goes on export of wine and aloe, like lotions and things for sunburn, but it's a very small part of their income. Their main source of income would be tourism. So obviously, when the lockdowns hit and things like this happened, my wife, she was already teaching on a different platform, purely to Chinese children.
Okay.
And one of her friends had mentioned Cambly and said that we should maybe give it a go. It's really, you know, that it's a good job. We get good hours here. It's not the best paid job in the world, but you know, it's good enough for where I live. If I was living in the middle of London, it wouldn't support me, but because of where I live, luckily enough, it quite happily supports me working on Cambly. So, and it's been a fantastic experience, and something that I, like you said, you know, the online industry for education is just a brilliant way forward. I think it, like you said, it's definitely the future. I feel a lot more can be done with it.
And as day goes by, I feel more motivated and
Yeah.
confident in giving online classes, because I really like to communicate, to share ideas, to meet new people, you know.
Hmm.
And I have started to do a mentoring program for
Okay.
online teachers, and they teach us the steps to step of how to improve our salary being an online teacher.
Hmm.
And the first thing they say is that it's really important for us as English teacher, not working in Cambly, but when you work for yourself,
Yeah.
to focus on a niche.
Yeah.
And for instance, at this moment, I'm focusing on teenagers and preteens because I think that they have a level of English that, I really feel more comfortable at this moment giving
Hmm.
online class for teens and children.
Hmm.
So this is the first thing my mentor says: focus on one in your niche and post consistently on Instagram.
Yeah.
So every day make a different post, speaking about your job, and giving English tips, recording reels for your niche.
Hmm.
So I'm really trying to see myself today as a businessman.
Yeah.
So I'm really working on my Instagram, and sometimes I put some videos speaking with English teacher here in Cambly. So
Excellent.
I'm trying to do my best.
You should maybe start putting some of those videos on YouTube as well and linking your YouTube to your Instagram. It gives you more scope for more students. You know,
Hmm.
you may end up getting students from anywhere that way. I feel YouTube has got a big reach right now. Saudi Arabia is a big push for English tutors online. Uh, Turkey's got a really big push for English tutors online. So India's got a massive push for it as well right now. So, you know, there's countries around the world that are really looking for good English tutors, online English tutors. So, and YouTube, I think it can give you that more, because with Instagram you have to be connected already, and it's quite difficult to get them connections from everywhere. Where I feel like anybody can watch a YouTube video, you know. So,
Hmm.
my suggestion is to start posting even just short clips on YouTube of like 2 minutes classes. You know, we do a verb class today, or do an adjectives class today, or you know, and and do like a little short intro to your class.
What is interesting, teacher, is that we can really make real money given on online classes. And I am not talking about a few money, you can gain your life being an English teacher in the online mode. And I have some colleagues that they make something like 10K a month,
Yeah, it's crazy.
and it's crazy. It's totally crazy because people all around the world, they really need to learn English because it's the English is a universal language, and everyone needs English. So never will fault customer for us.
No,
So that's
never.
it.
That's it. You've always
Never.
got a custom base. Always got a custom base, and not only is it an international language, it's definitely becoming the more and more so the business language. You know, lots of people in Saudi, the people that I speak to from Saudi Arabia, Turkey, their companies are paying for their Cambly lessons because they're gearing up to be more and more working on an international scale. And for whatever reason, the world has decided to use English as the business language. So I'm getting more and more students through that are business orientated. They want to know more business English, customer service based English, sales English, this type of thing. So, I mean, it's good for me in my profile because it's something that I'm really familiar with. So, for me and my profile on Cambly, it's worked out really well for me. And getting a lot of repeat bookings through such students, within that business world. They may have just left university, they're looking to get into the job market, and they're just trying to improve their English so they can be more impressive at the interview and things like this. So
And there are a lot of methodology in English teacher. The
mhm,
more traditional, they focus on grammar and only on grammar and some vocabulary. But
yeah,
speaking about myself, the way I learn more English is in the communicative approach,
yeah,
who is a methodology of English who says that you speak English, speak in English. You
speak it.
have an objective, a
Hmm.
situation. So that's when we, learn English in the best way. When we are talking in the about real life situations, not only about the grammar.
Yeah. Again, I feel exactly the same, Lou. And conversation is the best form of learning, I feel, because especially with a trained tutor that can pick out certain vocabulary that you may have missed, you may not have missed, or certain grammar points. But we need to be able to practice this. I speak to a lot of people in Turkey, and they learn grammar from a very young age, but they don't put it into practice. So they walk away and they know the grammar of English, but they can't really have a conversation with you because they haven't practiced it. And this is a big problem and not just from Turkey, from different other education systems as well. They really knuckle down on the grammar. They want you to learn the grammar as much as possible, but without practice. And without practice, it's kind of it's a road to nothing. Without why learn grammar if you're not going to put that into action? Uh, so yeah, I see that as well, and I think it's more free as well. People enjoy the conversation more. People enjoy talking about the things that they want to talk about. I've got a guy from Russia who likes to come through and talk to me just about conspiracy theories. Is there UFOs? Did we land on the moon? This kind of thing, and it's so interesting. But it's great for vocabulary. We learn lots of new different words when we're going through the conversations together. I just think it's a fabulous way of learning.
That's the point. When we talk about something that we really love and desire, the communication is most effective. Because there are a lot of things that I really like music, movies, and to discuss politics,
Hmm.
and to talk about things like this. really, I really feel that I'm more fluent when I'm talking about subjects like this,
Without
because
a
I
doubt.
think before talking.
Yeah,
That's
without a
it.
doubt, because you're passionate about it and you want to be able to have the conversation about it. Where if we talk about something you're not interested in, you don't really feel the need to expand on those answers. We teach a lot for the IELTS exams, and we talk about going through, is your city a good city? Yes, it's a good city. Yes, my city is a fantastic city. It's very historical. That's good. That's even better. Right. My city is London. It's a very steeped in history. It's got Big Ben. It's got the Eye of London. It's got the London Bridge, and then we go through details on how to explain things. And this is the only way through conversation and through conversation of being passionate about something. Teenagers are great for me. I talk about computer games or movies or sport with them, and
Mhm.
it gets them to be able to talk. I think talking is the main thing here. We can go through lesson plans and we can teach people, but if they're not speaking freely, it will be very difficult to move forward with them. So
One
I
thing
agree.
that I really like to do when I'm working with teenagers is to
Hmm.
use gamification in my online classes.
Yeah.
I always put a game and try, to put something related to English, and then I feel that they feel more motivated when
Yeah.
there is gamification.
Hmm. Yeah, I feel the same. For some of my younger students, a lot of them enjoy Minecraft. So I've got some links to Minecraft vocabulary and pictures, and so exactly the same. Once you've got something that they're interested in, we can learn around that. We can keep it interested because they're interested in Minecraft, right? So we can come off the topic of Minecraft and talk about engineering, building, graphic graphics, computers, and we can build a conversation, but keep it around the Minecraft, and that keeps their thought process around that.
Teacher, have you heard about Omigo? Is a
Amigo.
platform that you can talk with strangers. You enter on the website, and
Okay.
then there are random people from all around the world. And I
Okay.
had this experience, and it was a little awkward because people they are very strange. So I was trying
Me
to
too.
improve my English in Omigo, but I think it isn't the best way. I really
Okay.
think that online schools,
Yeah.
serious schools like Cambly's and EF
Hmm.
are
Yeah.
the best ways, to improve the English.
Without a doubt, or private, like you are doing. So if are you doing it private for yourself? Are you self-employed?
I am self-employed, but I also
Mm.
have a regular job.
Okay. So with your regular job, do you are teaching online, but do you have a side? So you are teaching on Skype, or are you teaching, for yourself? Have you got your own students that are not involved with the school that you work at?
That's it. That's it.
Okay, excellent. So you're building up your experience by working at school, and then you're building up your profile outside of school for your own
That's the
business. That's
point. That's
excellent.
the point. To in the future, just
Hmm.
be in the online mode, and
Yeah.
the without depending in any schools, just
Yeah.
working for myself. But
Hmm.
today, I can't work by myself because I really need some money that my regular job provide me.
Of
But
course.
as
But
time
at this
goes by,
beginning stage, yeah. Yeah,
as
I'm sure, Luan, that you're going to build up a fantastic portfolio of students. You've got the right attitude, you're really excited and enthusiastic about it. I can really tell. So I'm really positive for your future online endeavors.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. It was great talking to you, teacher. I wish you a great weekend. And that's it. You are very charismatic and a great teacher.
Thank you very much, Luan, and I have the same thoughts for you. You're very charismatic. It was a great conversation that we had today. Your English is fantastic. Keep up the good work. It was
Thank you
lovely
so
to meet you.
much.
Bye,
Bye
Luan.
bye.